Shincheonji members were shocked when they heard the numbers from the 2025 graduation ceremony. They had been taught that on Mount Zion, where the fulfillment of Revelation takes place, the tree of life bears fruit every month according to the Bible. So they believed that the number of graduates should increase every year. But the number announced at the 2025 graduation was something no one expected. It should have been 120,000 graduates. But the number Shincheonji announced that day was 59,192, only about half. It was a result that shocked everyone. Shincheonji members, you are sensitive to numbers, aren't you? You know the difference between bearing one fruit and 5 fruits feels like heaven and earth. And you, more than anyone else, understand how much time and sacrifice it takes to bear even one fruit. That's why the numbers you see at the graduation ceremonies, 100,000, 110,000, 120,000, have never felt like mere statistics, but like the result of your own sweat and tears. But this year, the number collapsed. In 2022, there were 100,000. In 2023, again 100,000. In 2024, 110,000. And naturally, in 2025, it should have reached 120,000. So where did things go wrong? On your behalf, I examined the numbers from Shincheonji's graduation ceremonies over the past 4 years, one by one. In 2022, Shincheonji announced the following continental figures: Asia, 26,568, Oceania, 1,158, America, 5,533, Europe, 3,192, Africa, 6,579. When all of these are added together, the total is 43,030. Yet the total number of graduates officially announced that year was 106,186. The difference between the two figures is 63,156. That gap can only be explained by the number of Korean graduates. In other words, there were about 60,000 Korean graduates in 2022. What about 2023? Asia, 35,792, Oceania, 871, America, 2,904, Europe, 2,927, Africa, 12,676. The total adds up to 55,170. But Shincheonji announced 108,084 graduates. Again, a difference of about 50,000, which must be the Korean graduates. In 2024, Shincheonji said there were 111,628 graduates, but didn't release the numbers by continent. Still, judging by the previous 2 years, we can reasonably estimate that there were at least 50,000 to 60,000 Korean graduates. And now, 2025, Shincheonji once again announced the numbers by continent. Asia, 43,863, Oceania, 656, America, 2,879, Europe, 1,713, Africa, 10,081. Add them all up, and the total is 59,192. And this time, Shincheonji's official total number of graduates was also 59,192. That means the continental total and the overall total were exactly the same, which in turn means there were 0 graduates in Korea. Is that even possible? For the past 3 years, they've claimed countless people studied Shincheonji's teachings and graduated. But this year, not a single person? What happened in between? Perhaps you might think of explanations like this. First, maybe the 2025 Asia total includes Korea. But when we look at the 2022 and 2023 figures, it's clear that Korea was not included in the Asian category then. Why would that logic suddenly change this year? Second, Is it really true that not one person in Korea graduated in 2025? Was the persecution so severe that no one could complete the course? That can't be. Among you, there surely were people who bore fruit. Then third, could it be that the numbers from 2022 to 2024 were wrong from the beginning? If those earlier figures were inflated, then perhaps this year's 59,192 is actually the real number. If so, the conclusion is clear. For years, the Shincheonji headquarters has been showing you false numbers. And fourth, is the number 59,192 announced this year truly real? Did then many people around the world actually study Shincheonji's teachings and graduate? Considering the contradictions and inconsistencies Shincheonji has shown before, it's hard to say this number is genuine either. It could very well be another figure carefully calculated to reassure you. Either way, the truth cannot be found easily, even inside Shincheonji, because only a very small number of people know where these numbers actually come from. Shincheonji has always said we speak with evidence. But if their so-called evidence contradicts itself, what can you really believe? Truth is not in numbers. The work of God cannot be measured by statistics. Yet they have made you focus on numbers because the numbers are the easiest way to control people's hearts. While you were striving toward 100,000, 110,000, or 120,000, someone else was using those numbers to maintain their authority and power. If someone truly wanted to deceive you, there would be no easier way than through numbers. Numbers look like truth, but inside, falsehood can hide. Now you've seen it with your own eyes. The data speaks for itself. The numbers Shincheonji shows are no longer the truth. If you truly want to find the path of faith, the starting point is not in numbers, but in truth. And that truth is found in one person alone, Jesus Christ. Nowhere in the Bible is there any concept of a promised pastor who acts as a mediator between God and humanity. There is only one mediator, Jesus Christ, whom we know. He alone saves us, and no one else can represent our souls before God. So do not look to man. Do not cling to any so-called promised pastor. We already have the promised Savior, Jesus Christ. Return to Him. If you need help, please contact freeofshincheonji@gmail.com. You will receive a reply within 72 hours. We'll be praying for your courage and your decision.